Hello, friends. Welcome to the I Champions 1 month boot camp. It's a pleasure having you around in class. I hope you've watched my video on 5 reasons why people fail the IELTS on their first attempt. So if you've not done that before now, please I encourage you to please do so, as that is like a prelude to a bulk of what we'll be doing over the next 1 month of this boot camp. As the name implies, we are not having a training or just a training. What we are having is a boot camp. And if you understand the meaning of a boot camp, it's a period of intensive grooming, nurturing, and alignment of people to a specific purpose. So you're not just attending an IELTS training, but you are here for a boot camp, a grooming beyond the training, and an alignment to be able to do well on the IELTS test or the IELTS test. So I welcome you all to class. I hope the next 1 month will be fulfilling. From our past experiences with clients, that have always been fulfilling, and I know definitely you'll be fulfilled at the end. This training program is powered by Newmark Health Projects and Services, Africa's leading training solution provider. And my name is Shegun, and I'll be your lead coach through this boot camp, supported by other instructors and team members. I am popularly known as the IELTS Destroyer. Once again, I welcome you to class. So let's take a quick introduction to some key elements that will help you do very well during this boot camp and help you optimize or maximize the potentials that this boot camp has to offer. So our profile, so you understand those you are working with. This is not just a regular IELTS training program. So far, we have recorded 100% success rate on first attempt after completing the boot camp and obtaining the test fitness report. As the illustration goes on, you would see what the test fitness report is. But so far, so good. For every candidate that has successfully undergone or gone through the IELTS bootcamp program from Newmark, they have all enjoyed 100% success rate after the camping. Some persons were first-time test takers. Some other persons had taken the test a couple of times before they came in for the boot camp. For everybody who successfully completed the boot camp, they always passed at their first attempt, and the average band score for most of the candidates ranges between 7.5 and 8. So most of our candidates have a band score between 7.5 and 8 with an average of 7. We hardly have clients who score 6.5 only in the writing test. So most of the clients score above 7, and the average band score is usually about 7.5 to about 8. Our record speaks for us, and we welcome you to the family of champions, the league of IELTS destroyers. I'm very sure, extraordinarily sure, that at the end of this 1 month boot camp, you will be empowered, you will be poised, you will be energized to face the IELTS exam and to join the league of IELTS destroyers. You too will be able to say, I destroyed the IELTS at my first attempt after the boot camp. So we do not believe that it can be done just that, but we believe and we have proven that it can be done again and again. We have had candidates who had lost hope, say 4, 5 attempts, and the results were getting worse with every attempt afterwards. We'll see if during the course of the training we can bring some of them to just share their experiences, if they will give the permission for that to be done. So many persons had lost hope, they're frustrated already, believing that it could never be done. However, when they came on the boot camp, we told them it is possible. And because they believed it was possible and they did the work that was required, they got the result. So if you follow all that we say and you do them, we assure you of a success on your next IELTS attempt. 2 words in focus. 1, follow. Do not just follow, do as we say. Our system is proven, it has been tested over the years, and it has produced similar results over and over and over again. So for your case, it's not going to be a different situation. The result of success we have been establishing and enjoying, you definitely be part of the statistics at the end of this your boot camp. So once again, I welcome you to your boot camp experience. Now that you are here with us, all well and good, you have registered for the course now, let's get the job done. Some key things you must do or you must take note of. All students must fill the registration or commitment form provided. Now, we have a commitment form that will be circulated. It's an online form that you would have to fill and make certain commitments. Boot camp is not where you pet people. Boot camp is not executive training. Boot camp is not VIP training. Boot camp is boot camp. And in a boot camp, the key to success is what we call regimentation. Working under a specified precept or process or procedure. So during our boot camp, there are several rules that will govern us. And to be sure that everybody who is registered will align themselves, you will have to fill that form and pledge your allegiance to go through the program as stipulated. There's no magic involved. Only practice makes perfect. You will see from the timetable release that of the 7 days per week of the boot camp, 5 days there is dedicated to practice and just 2 days dedicated to interactive session with the instructors. That's not a mistake. That is the system that works. So at Ielts Champions Bootcamp, we are not magicians or miracle workers. We have a system that works, and that system states or says that only practice will make perfect. Even if we teach you all the secrets, expose you to all the key information that you will require, but if you do not go back to put them to practice, my dear friends, the result will not be similar to what you have enjoyed before now, which was success. So take note of that. You have not come to a magical camp. You have come to a boot camp, a regimented camp, a rugged camp, a camp for breeding and brewing of champions in the Ielts exercise. So take note of this, and it will do us all good. It is at the discretion of the instructors to evict any candidate not meeting up with the boot camp requirements. From what I will discuss with you in this introduction and from the form you will fill, you will see certain requirements there. For example, here you must do your assignments. Excuses are not accepted. There will always be reasons why you cannot get it done. But here in the boot camp, we do not take excuses lightly. We do not take flaunting deadlines lightly. So for candidates that we observe that based on their level of commitment, they would not be able to generate the result that we require, which is a success in the IELTS exam, we evict them. We tell them to step aside for another bargain on how they can take the training some other time at a subsidized rate. So when you are evicted from the camp, you don't have a free access to the next training. And that was why in our 5 reasons for why people fail the IELTS, we said it clearly that only those who are prepared to take the IELTS should register for the training. Why is that the case? Because we do evict candidates who we see that their commitment level, that their involvement level cannot generate the result that is required. We are not going to evict you for performing poorly. You will see all of the requirements as the class goes on. But for not doing your assignments repeatedly, for not participating in class or in group activities repeatedly, that shows that you are not with us. And those who are not with us must definitely be against us. And being against us means that you are not capable of passing the test at your next attempt. And remember, our 100% record is exclusively important to us. We count it and we hold it in high esteem. So please take note of that. It may sound a little bit harsh or unfriendly, but this is the method that works. Why? As the training goes on, you will see that there is risk for attrition, people losing interest, people giving up, and all of such things. So we cannot allow you give up. We must push you to get the desired result. So, ladies and gentlemen, at certain times we may be hard, at certain times we may seem unreasonable by your own calculation. But for us in this boot camp, the only thing that sounds reasonable is you passing the test at your next attempt. And whatever we can do to help you achieve that, we are going to do, even if sometimes it may involve pushing you out of your comfort zone, stretching you beyond the elastic limit to get the job done. There will always be excuses, just as I have said, but here we do not entertain excuses. Your commitment will be monitored at every stage. We have officers we call chaperone who monitor all activities in the boot camp and make recommendation to the instructor on candidates whose involvement or commitment level is less than is expected for action to be taken. All you got with us is 4 weeks, so we encourage you to utilize this opportunity. Now, what's the roadmap to Ielts success that we have carved out for our participants? First, you need to all get either a functional mobile device or desktop device, which could be a palm top, a desktop, a laptop, or a mobile phone. But any of these you have must be equipped with the Zoom app because of our live lecture series. So your device should have a Zoom app installed on it. Good internet facility is compulsory, majorly for our live sessions, then also because at certain points of the course or the camp, you'll be directed to certain online test resources that has proven effective before now, and you will need internet facility to access them. Assignment submission is not negotiable. Deadlines are deadlines. Time management is key. Later on in the course, when I begin to teach you certain things on time management, you would get to understand that it's not about the quantity or the duration or the amount of time spent preparing. It's actually a function. Your success is a function of the input and the quality of the time spent. By that I mean, it's not just about practicing for hours. What is the nature of your practice? So we enjoin and we encourage participants to decide on periods of the day that is most likely free from all forms of distraction and select those periods as their practice time. As the course goes on, we will decide when our live lecture series will be, either 8 p.m. West African time or 9 p.m. West African time, whatever is most suitable for a bulk of the participants. So time management is key and essential for us. Excuses will not be welcomed. I've said that over and over again. Giving up is not an option. At certain time, you feel like giving up. You just say to yourself, how much did I pay for this course? Let me give up. The money is not worth it. Or, I will do it some other time. I will pay again and take it again. Procrastination, they say, is the destroyer of time or the thief of time. So, this time around, you have put your hands on the plow. You ain't going to look back. So giving up is not an option. So I'm assuring you that at some point in this course or this boot camp, you will feel like giving up. In fact, multiple points. You feel like letting go. You feel like letting off. You feel like giving up. But from the beginning, I've told you now, giving up is not an option. So take a moment right now and say to yourself, mention your name. My name is Shegun. I said to myself, Shegun, giving up on this boot camp is not an option. So say that to yourself, class. Giving up is not an option. So whenever you feel like letting go or giving up, remember you made this commitment here and now that giving up is not an option. So I will repeat this statement all the time during the course. When some persons will cry to me and say, "Sir, Shegun, this thing is not easy. Shegun, I didn't know it was this difficult. Shegun, let me just rest. Shegun, I'm comfortable where I am. Just don't let me continue. It's giving me headache. It's making me cry. I'm not impressed by my performance." My response to you will always be, giving up is not an option. Consistency will eventually pay off. If you keep at it, if you continue, if you do not give up, I assure you, this system you have been introduced to is tested and trusted. Your consistency, your perseverance, your continuation will definitely pay off. It will show in your grades, your practice grades. It will show also in your Ielts final test when you take it. So, no giving up. We are going on this bootcamp together and we are all coming out successful at the end. So, what we do to help you? We have said so many things. You cannot give up. You must fulfill your obligations. So what's our own part of the bargain to help you achieve this aim? So we have live classes twice every week. So on the first day of our week doesn't start with Sunday. Our week begins on the first day of the training. First week ends 7 days after the first, that's on the 7th day. The second week begins on the 8th day, ends after 7 days. So that's how we calculate our week. So we meet on the live Zoom classes for introduction and review on the first and the last day of the boot camp week. I've explained to you that the boot camp week is not Sunday to Saturday. It is the 1st to the 7th day, the 8th to the, I think, 15th day. So every 7th day is a week on the boot camp. So we meet on those 2 days. And the Zoom class is also recorded just in case your internet or maybe due to 1 or 2 reasons you were unable to meet up. But it's better you were there live and direct so you could ask questions, you could make contributions, and you could get reviews done live and direct. The timing for the live class will always be determined by participants, but the prescribed time is usually between 8 or 9 p.m. West African time. So we will decide on the first day of the course the exact time that will be most suitable for most participants. The live class takes about 3 to 4 hours, on an average 3 hours. So it's a long one. So that is one thing we do to help you. So the other 5 days after the training introduction and the review at the end is always left for you to practice. So practice, practice, practice is key. So we have 2 days direct contact with you. On other 5 days, we will send you lecture materials, videos that have been recorded, pre-recorded classes, and assignments and deadlines. So I do an introduction, or we do an introduction on the first day of our week. From the 2nd to the 5th day to the 6th day, you do your self-paced lecture follow-up. You watch the videos, you do your assignments, you submit them. On the 7th day of the week, of our week, we then meet to review what we have done through that week, answer questions, and then get feedback from participants. So take note, those 5 days in between the 1st and the 7th day are your days to get the job done. Those are the days that actually matter most, because you will be to some extent alone. What you have mainly are the materials and the tests or the assignments that we have given to you. Each student is assigned to an accountability group. Now, we know that for people to be self-directed, or for self-directed learning to be effective, many a times you will need monitoring, especially at the beginning of a boot camp. So everybody here will be assigned to an accountability group on WhatsApp or Telegram, whichever is most suitable or feasible. Now that group will usually be made up of maximum of 10 persons, and then there will be a chaperone. That is a person assigned to oversee the activities of those groups. Your individual assignments or your week assignments are submitted daily on your accountability group, and they are reviewed by the chaperone. We encourage students to communicate with the teaching team via their chaperone. Because of the number of persons you may need to attend to, everybody may not always have access to the teaching team, but your chaperone is there as your support system to aid you get direction from time to time. Assignments are handwritten to make life easy for you, so there's no need to type your assignment or whatever. So you write your assignments. On the next few slides, I will show you how to get assignments done and how we submit our assignments. So assignments are handwritten. So our live classes are there to support you. The review sessions are there to help you. The pre-recorded video lectures are there to help you. The interactive sessions on your accountability group is a system provided to support you. Your chaperone is there as a support system. Your assignments are made available to you as also a means of preparing you on this boot camp. So how do we do our assignments here on the boot camp? The assignment is to be done on paper, sheet, whatever paper, plain paper, exercise book, but we encourage all participants to go get an exercise book so that you can track your progress. So when you see how much you are improving, you are better energized to put in more effort to get more results. So I encourage everybody, go get a notebook. It could be something as minor as this. Get a notebook and use it as your practice journal. So assignments are done on paper, and everybody will be assigned a camp ID. So on every assignment you are submitting to us, you must label it with your camp ID. We don't need to know your name. We have your name, but what we relate with is your camp ID for some level of confidentiality when it comes to people submitting their assignments on their accountability group. So you put just your camp ID on your assignment booklets. You actually be the one to mark your assignment. We know you are adults, you won't cheat, because cheating will not help you, cheating will not help me or any member of the team. So you'll be the one to mark your assignments for reading, listening, but for the writing part of the assignments, your groups will review, your chaperone will review, and the training team will give a final verdict on it. But for your reading and listening assignment, we would always provide you with a marking scheme so you can grade yourself and submit your graded script. So graded scripts are either scanned or you take a clear photo of it and then you drop it before the stipulated deadline on your accountability group. So this is a sample of assignments. So you can see now that these students here properly labeled the assignments. So this was practice test 1 for January 2022 material that we provided. Don't worry, you understand what we mean by this later on. The only thing not provided here was the camp ID. It should have been here. So this is the way your assignment should be. So you would have graded it, and then this is what you will submit there for us to see. Now look at this other one on this side. This is a poor way of doing your assignment. I don't even know the assignment this candidate did. I don't know the candidate camp ID. I know zero or little about this candidate. So this will not be a good way to submit. So please do not submit this way. Rather, something like this, inclusive of your camp ID. Very essential in submitting your assignments. So when I come back from the break now, I'm going to go straight to discussing the phases of the training and what each of the phases entail, what your responsibilities are, and what the responsibility of the team is. So see you on the next set of videos on the introductory aspect of the Ielts Champions Bootcamp. I welcome you to class once again. Thank you.